Alright neighbor, few moments have passed since I put the salt and mixed it into the dough. The dough has been resting more than 30 minutes. It's actually closer to an hour and a half now. And that's okay. The nice thing about sourdough is that it's very forgiving and it's very flexible. It's just been resting and fermenting. I don't know if you can see, it has risen a little bit and we can start to see a little bit bubbles. A little bit of bubble forming. Bubbles means that they are fermenting. And during this bulk fermentation, at any given time or any point in there, you can then do the thing that I mentioned that I called a coil. A coil is a movement that we do to help the gluten network to strengthen. There are a couple of ways, and there are sourdough bakers that believe that there has to be a certain timing that we do that, but I'm very flexible on the way I make my sourdough. Whenever we have the time to come and see and take a look at our dough, that's when I do the coil. I would like to put in at least 5 coils throughout this 4.5 to 5 hours period of bulk fermentation, and this is the first one. Then maybe in another 15 or 30 minutes, then I'll do the second one and another one after another 30 minutes and so on. And at the end, I like to let the dough rest for at least 1 hour for it to rise. And again, the coil, you need 2 hands, and it is nice to have a glass of clean water by you because sourdough dough is wet. Even though this one is only 75% hydration, it is already wet. And if you see, the gluten is already start forming nicely, right? It has stretch, it has strength. And here we go, the coil. You lift it up like so, and you flop it over into itself. You lift it up and you flop it over onto itself. You do a 90 degree, lift it up, fold it over onto itself. Lift it up, fold it over into itself. I wonder if I can get a better shot of this. Let's see. There you go. Yep, I think that's a little better. All right. So you do this side and you do the other side, and then you do the side. So you do all 4 sides. You lift it up, right? And fold it over into itself. Turn it around. You lift it up, fold it over into itself. And you can do this a couple of times, not too much, but enough to start seeing the difference in the strength. You can see that already. Remember, it was a shaggy mass just before this stage, and then we put a salt and it's a little bit more cohesive. And this one, with this coil movement, just by the first one, you will see how different this dough going to look. Booyah! Right? Am I right? Isn't that amazing or what? So cool. Yes. You know, you could, and many people change the bowl after they mix and let it rise in a clean bowl. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just leave it in the same bowl and it works just fine. So that's the first coil, and we're going to do that same exact movement 5 times at any point during this 5 hours bulk ferment period. The minimum spacing between those coils is 15 minutes. The longest, however long. And every time you done with the coil, I usually like to just touch it a little bit, talk to it a little bit. How are you doing, Norma? You're doing good. I see bubbles. You're doing fine. All right, and then you cover it again, And the next step after this, after the bulk ferment is done, is we're going to divide the dough into the size of loaf that we like, and we're going to pre-shape it and let it rest on the bench, and that's called benching. And then we're going to shape it and we're going to do it cold proof. Until then, we can do all of our other chores that we have to do and let the dough rest. All right, till next video.